Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is, what is your essential purpose? I actually have talked a lot about people's purposes and passions before, and then I directed into some other areas, but it's been coming up again. I've had several different people bring this up for their own lives about, what their purpose is. And so I thought I'd just share with you what my awareness is about what people's purpose is based on doing readings and sessions for people for 35 years. What I've noticed is that some people are initiators. They are on the leading edge. They are what I would define as the light bringers into the world. They're excited about the new thing. They're out there blazing the trails. They're the ones that start groups. They're the ones that are the adventurers. They'll go explore and find new places and things. They're the ones that hear about the first information that's coming across, and they'll put it out on all social media platforms for people. They'll be the people who will try out the newest social media stuff. So their essence energy is gold, and what they are bringing into form is that highest, newest vibration, that sunlight that's coming into form. The next group of people that I notice are sky blue is their essence energy, and they tend to be great communicators. And I would also define them as the kind of people who were the pioneers in the world. They follow the trailblazers, but they're the kind of people who pile their families into wagon trains and go on the trails that have already been blazed. Now, their wagon trains are creating roads into the structure of the world. So they have taken that brand new information and they brought it a little bit more embodied, and they've helped communicate it to others. So they make great partners with light bringers. They're complementary in that way. And you will see that revealed as people who are healers through communication. So lots of therapists, but also reporters, not investigative reporters. Those would be more like light bringers, but the kind of reporters that want to bring the information and share it. And then we also have the settlers. If you think about, okay, there's the trailblazers, and then there's the pioneers, and then once the pioneers get someplace, what are the personalities that help settle that environment into a town or a village? They build the banks, they build the schools, and their vibration is a darker blue. It is their energy is more grounding into form. So that's when you see the initial energy idea that has actually come into a stronger foundation. They are the foundation builders. How they manifest in the world too is they will be the kind of person who goes into the family business, stays in the same town where they were born. They are stabilizers. And so they're also often with light bringers or lighter vibratory people because they're complementary. The trailblazers, often their ideas are going into the clouds because they're off to the next thing. And the settlers provide the anchor point or the grounding into form. Now, people who are that dark blue settlers, they often don't understand. They just do not understand the implications or the initiations or the initial impulses of light bringers because it's so opposite. And light bringers cannot understand the settling tendencies of those who are dark blue. It's like, oh, that would be like so boring to be like normal. And not everybody is dichotomized into these three areas, and there's actually a fourth area as well. But we have tendencies. And you will see somebody who is initially an adventurer, a light bringer, settling down a little bit while they have kids, and then they take off and do their initial thing later on. Though some adventurers just strap their kids to their backs and take off. And then the fourth one that I mentioned is the catalyst. And those are the people who are the Christopher Columbus getting in the boat, sailing off the edge of the world, the astronaut getting in the first ship that leaves the planet. Those people are catalysts, and their energy is a very vibrant, new, bright green. They're boldly going where no one has gone before. So how you might feel if you're any one of those people too is that if you're a light bringer, you might look around your family, and there's usually like only one light bringer in the family, or maybe one per, family unit or generation. My Aunt Mary was that way, but nobody in my family's this way. I feel like I've been adopted. I feel like, they picked me out of a pumpkin patch or whatever. Because usually family units are perpetuating the family patterns and are just the lower vibratory level. And there's this one bright light bringer, which nobody can understand. And it's upsetting because they're breaking the family patterns by doing something different. And light bringers will also find their initial purpose showing up in the world, whether they want to or not. They'll go into a relationship for the stability of it. And shortly into it, all this stuff will be coming to the surface because you bring a brighter vibration into form, and it's going to reveal the darker tendencies. They go into jobs for the stability of the income, and somewhere in that, after starting to work there, the company will get indicted for fraud practices or something, and it's not because they're working in the financial sector, but they have brought a brighter vibration to that business. The positive side of that is that they could come into a failing business, and their light inspires the business to go forward in a new direction or breathes new air into it. So there's positive sides to that as well. The pioneer will be kind of the middle child or the peacemaker between the two extremes, and they're the ones who will be the family communicator. They'll be the ones putting it into words. They're great teachers, they're great therapists. You'll find people doing all sorts of different jobs and bringing their uniqueness to this. They'll also be the ones who will be looking behind and trying to understand the things behind why people are doing stuff. Light bringers will do that as well. Light bringers are natural clairvoyants, so they can read beneath the surface. I would say that the pioneers are also natural empaths, and they will feel the feelings of the place or the people. And then it's pretty obvious, the stabilizers are the respected people in the community, and they're the bankers, and they're the bureaucrats, and the officials that are help make the town what it is, or the city what it is, and help it to keep going. And as I said, they'll go into the family business, but they'll also perpetuate the family patterns. So, if there's a recurrence of, alcoholism or something like that, they'll be kind of stuck with those tendencies. And that's a judgment. They might actually be there because they're also healers. You'll see a lot of people who are like doctors with this kind of vibration. They have a knee-jerk reaction to wanting to make it a safe place and make people feel better. And but they'll be doing it in this very grounded, stabilizing way. It can be a real relief to a light bringer to be with someone like that because, it actually helps bring their creations into form. They provide this wonderful place for a light bringer to create in. And they also love being with light bringers because they bring light into their lives. They bring a unique and different aspect, and both of them help each other to grow. And as I said, everybody has different tendencies within them. So you can, believe it or not, because we also come together with people who are opposites in order to not only, because we need that vibration, but also to find that within ourselves. So, you can become more stable if you're a light bringer, and if you are a settler, you can lighten up a little bit. And then I've been sort of peripherally mentioning the catalyst. It's like, oh my gosh, if you have a child who's the next, Elon Musk. Give him the space to create and be tinkering with that new invention in the garage. He might be building a transporter in the basement, and you go down one day and find that he's figured out ways to, transport somebody from New York to Los Angeles through rearranging their atoms, something like that. Catalysts are miracle workers in this world, but they can be, I can imagine they could be really difficult to live with as well. And it's just they're not just living on the leading edge, they are the leading edge, and they're creating the leading edge. And we all have that spark of the initiator in our lives, so don't tamp that down when something like that bubbles up within you, because it doesn't mean that you are going to lose tie with your family, who are all settlers and they already think you're kind of nutty. But it's that an energy that can help initiate change within yourself as well. So when you know this about yourself and you can recognize this about yourself, then it makes it easier for you to know how to fulfill your purpose in the world, because your purpose isn't a solid and fast and written on your life chart from the moment before you're born. Now, some people do feel like they have a mission in the world and they have to express themselves in this one way in the world, but you might find that you have choices of ways to express yourself. And when you know that, I am a settler, and my dad, who was an initiator, just thinks I'm terrible because I'm not comfortable with picking up roots and moving overseas every 6 months or 2 years. I just want to go and live in a small town and do, quiet, introverted things. That's a wonderful value. You bring a wonderful value to the world. We need stabilizers in the world, because if we were all catalysts, the planet wouldn't still be here. So once you know that, you can understand what's going with your internal drive. And that's about purpose. And I've talked recently about creativity, which is also how you express yourself in the world. So those things give you clues as to what your purpose is. And then how you bring it into the world is through your creative expression. And again, there's no prescribed way, or even, I would say, necessarily destined way to express it in the world. You have within you your own internal creative energy and your own internal authority to bring this into the world. That is your purpose, is to express yourself and express who you are, and you bring a great gift to this planet. You bring your own unique music to the symphony. You bring your own unique color to this amazing mural of life. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I have a weekly radio show podcast. I also have a weekly blog and newsletter. I put out these videos once a week. I do meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, and University Place. I do monthly webinars. And if you want to know more about how to navigate your life, how to fulfill your purpose in the world today, using leading edge techniques to easily and effortlessly create the life that you want, go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.